Right, the big story we are following at this hour is, of course, the Sushant Rajput death case, and the probe in that has picked up pace as we know that the CBI is continuing with its focus on accused number one in this case, Rhea Chakraborty. She has been summoned for the third day in a row. She will be questioned today as well in the DRDO guest house, where she's been visiting for the past 2 days. Questioned for 17 hours in total by now. On the first day when she was summoned on Friday, she was questioned for around 10 hours. At a stretch, yesterday also she was questioned for 7 hours, and today as well she has been called in. Now, what our sources in the CBI has in fact said so far is that several tough questions had in fact been posed to Rhea, which were related to some of the inconsistent statements which have come in from the witnesses. She was also asked about the events that unfolded between the time that she left Sushant's house on 8th June till 14th of June when Sushant's death took place. I'm joined by my colleague Sandhya Gora, who's outside the DRDO guest house where the CBI team has been camping. Sandhya, any time yet as to when Rhea is supposed to come in today, and any particular line of questioning that the CBI is looking at for the third day in a row?
See, Tanima, as of now, we are outside DRDO guest house. This is actually the temporary office of CBI. Talking about when is Rhea Chakraborty expected. See, that is something we all are actually waiting here. You can see, of course, media houses are here. Their deployment is here. Talking about Rhea Chakraborty and the line of questioning which is going to be for her. See, the basic focus is going to be on the equation Rhea Chakraborty and her brother Showik Chakraborty shared with Sushant Singh Rajput, whether it was on a personal level, whether it was about the business partnership, because they were partners in a couple of companies. So that is going to be the focus. And you also rightly mentioned that there have been inconsistencies in the statements of the key witnesses here. So that is also going to be a confrontation point on which Rhea Chakraborty will be confronted. Talking about Rhea Chakraborty, the main accused in the case, because CBI's case is based on Bihar Police's FIR. It is the third day where she will be questioned by CBI at this place, DRDO guest house, which is the temporary office of CBI Delhi team. Tanima.
Right. In fact, Sandhya, what we can in fact see is that this is the third day of questioning. Also, do we have any information as to whether or not anyone else is going to be called in for questioning? We've seen on the first day, first couple of days, there were the witnesses also, Siddharth Pithani and Neeraj, the house help, who had been called in for questioning as well. In fact, it was their statements vis-a-vis which the CBI was also questioning Rhea on certain follow-up questions which had emerged in this case based on the witness statements. So is there any information as to whether or not there will be other people who are called in who appear for questioning today as well?
Yes, absolutely, Tanima. In fact, if we talk about the people you were mentioning, whether it's Sushant's house help, whether it's Siddharth Pithani's friend, his cook Keshav, his bodyguard Dipesh Sawant, all these people have been questioned by the CBI team since the beginning and on several occasions. And for days, for hours, these people were questioned. And in fact, if we talk about Siddharth Pithani and Neeraj, they were taken to Sushant's house on a couple of occasions during the recreation as well to see whether those inconsistencies which are there in their verbal statements, whether or not those inconsistencies remain the same during the recreation of the scene of incident as well. So today also, in all likelihood, many people related to the case will be called by CBI, and there is going to come a stage when Rhea Chakraborty will be confronted with these key witnesses, specifically on the inconsistencies which CBI has found in their statements. Tanima.
Right. Sandhya, please stay with us. Let me also go across to Neha Kulkarni, who is outside Rhea Chakraborty's residence. Neha, what we of course have seen over the past few days is a number of journalists who've been gathering outside Rhea's residence for the past few days in a row. She's also called in police protection over the past few days, essentially because there's a lot of interest in this particular case. What activities are you seeing outside Rhea Chakraborty's house today, and any word as to when she's likely to leave?
Tanima, it is the third day now that the Rhea Chakraborty will be appearing again before the CBI for the questioning related to this case. We have seen that in the past 2 days. Let's tell our viewers what has exactly happened. On the first day, she had left at around 10:45 a.m. from her house. She had gone to the DRDO where she was questioned for about 10 hours. Upon return, we understand that she had made a request to the Mumbai police saying she needs a safe passage from her house till the DRDO quarters, and also upon CBI's request, Mumbai police protection was asked to be given to her at least during her journey to the DRDO and back to her house. Yesterday specifically, we saw how the Mumbai police arrived 15 minutes before she was about to go to the DRDO quarters. There were female constables accompanying her, and there was a Mumbai police van right at the, basically accompanying the entire journey from her house till the DRDO quarters. The Mumbai police was with her. Today also we are expected to see a similar scene, because if I can show you, this is the Primrose Apartments where she stays. This is the house where Rhea Chakraborty is residing currently along with her parents. Yesterday at around 12 p.m., just about a couple of minutes before she was about to leave, two Mumbai police vans came in. The senior inspector, an inspector from the Santa Cruz police station also came in. There were female constables at the site. They were at the gate, and just minutes before she left, the Mumbai police van followed her as onto her way to the DRDO quarters. So today also we are expected to see a similar scene here, because we understand that the police will be giving her that safe passage, that protection as she requires. But it is also important to see, as how Santya was mentioning, that how many people come today to the quarters. Again, will she be confronted with her statements, and what is it specifically that the CBI focuses on today?
Right, both of you, thank you so much for joining us. Santya and Neha Kulkarni, we will of course be coming back to you on this big developing story that we are going to track through the day today. Meanwhile, as the probe into the explosive drugs angle explodes in the Sushant Rajput death case, now the Maharashtra government has brought in a new angle. The Home Minister of the state, Anil Deshmukh, has now said that he will forward complaints seeking probe into the Bollywood drugs nexus to the CBI. But the twist in this case is he's in fact trained his guns at the BJP through this by saying that he has got complaints against Sandeep Singh, a filmmaker and a friend of Sushant Singh Rajput. And Anil Deshmukh in fact questioned the alleged link between Sandeep Singh and the BJP and the drugs mafia in Bollywood. Let's take a listen at what the State Home Minister had to say.
संदीप सिंह के बारे में जो सीबीआई जांच करने वाली है, उसके जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के नेता और माननीय पंतप्रधान, इनके ऊपर जिसने बायोपिक बनाया था और 27 भाषा में वो बायोपिक बनाया था, उसके और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के क्या संबंध है। उसी प्रकार संदीप सिंह के बॉलीवुड के साथ में और ड्रग का जो मामला भी जो सामने आया, उसके साथ में क्या संबंध है, क्या ताल्लुकात है, इसके बारे में काफ़ी कंप्लेंट निवेदन मेरे पास आए, वो हम जांच के लिए आगे देंगे।